Hello everyone, and welcome to JumperManTech, where we specialize in HVAC but do everything DIY. And today we are working on a commercial Hoshizaki ice machine. Thank you to everyone tuning in to JumperManTech. Today we're working on a commercial Hoshizaki ice machine. These are two condensing units. We had an alarm last time where we had 2 beeps every 3 seconds. And we determined that we actually have a bad expansion valve. It really is the TXV this time. There's always jokes about that, but we'll see. The only thing that's bothering me is that if we look closely, the model number and serial number, everything is washed away from here. There's really no information, and the one right next to it is the same exact thing. Not only that, sometimes you have the model number on the cover, on the metal cover. Both metal covers are gone. There's no information on this unit. I just believe that this was the KM500 MWH model, and that's the best thing I have. I looked at the model online and it seems to be the right one. It's just, this is the correct TXV. This is a typical TXV that you would find. You just look at the one they have here. It's this right here. Look at that, that's completely different. I'm just hoping that side matches up with the compressor. I called tech support to make sure if this is the right one to match up any numbers, but there's really nothing he could do to help me. It is what it is. You don't got no information, he can't help you. So it's kind of taking a risk here to put this thing in. Well, let's just hope it works. I'm going for it. The refrigerant has already been recovered from this unit. As you can see, we have 0 pounds of pressure. So now we know we're safe to start pulling the piping out. The pipe sizes seem to add up. I might have to reconfigure a couple of things as far as that inlet pipe. Should be the liquid line. For now, I'm going to take out the pins, make sure there's nothing left over. A little bit of pressure there. I'm gonna do the same for this one. So we can braze safely. All right, here's our suction line. I want to take off the bulb. So let's get rid of this insulation. Sensing bulb. Man, look at that pipe, it's green. Strap for the sensing bulb. So now we're gonna have that free. Right, here's that sensing bulb. So we gotta take out the inlet and the outlet. I have to redo this piping a little bit regardless because of the configuration. So I'm just gonna cut that liquid line coming in. All right, let's light this place up. Here we go. Look at this tiny expansion valve. Something's wrong about this. I don't like this. Change of plans. So that TXV really didn't sit right with me. I had to do some more research. So that valve was good for a 3/4 horsepower unit, but the compressor I had was 1 1/4 horsepower. I'm like, okay, so this is definitely off. So I just went to Hoshizaki, and picked up some parts. Let's do this thing right. So there's the old TXV. There's the old TXV. It is the smallest thing you've ever seen, and that looks a lot more like it. The old one was just completely way off. Actually took off the valve without the solder point, but anyways, this is the correct one. It's also a mini filter dryer. I mean, look how small this is. And then if you noticed, maybe not in this video, but I did notice a crazy sound coming from this unit, and that has to do with the water flow. So I picked up the water regulating valve. That might be in a different video, but I figured while I was here, let me pick that up. So we got the water regulating valve, the right filter dryer OEM, and the correct TXV. This is now gonna work. Let's make our way back. All right, everyone, we're gonna wrap up the day here. Spent half the day pulling out that valve just to realize this ain't gonna work. Pick up the correct stuff. We're gonna be back another day, so see you in the next clip. All right, we're back at the machine. So far it's taped off. Definitely got the right valve now. I definitely took it off wrong, but let's go ahead and pipe this out. For this to properly fit, I gotta take off a bit of piping up to here. Let's unbraze that. See that blue stuff? It's a heat absorption putty. I'm using hot block made by solder weld so we don't melt this TXV. We're going to take the mirror and inspect each joint. Make sure that we got it all the way around. Next thing, I have this OEM filter dryer. Man, this thing is so small. I did a bunch of weird piping over here. Alright, let's get it to work. This thing is weird. So as far as 1/4 inch, it's like a little bit too small, but as far as 3/8, it doesn't go in. to figure out something to make this fit. That's why the other one is so ugly. It has all these crazy adapters on it. Crimp the edge of it. And then just braze it. That should work. Alright guys, it's all in, and I'm gonna go put in 2 new Schrader valves for each port. Every time I open up the system, if there's any Schrader valves, I replace them. Before I put in the new Schrader valves, just want to blow out nitro through each end in case there's any stuff inside that needs to be pushed out. Push it through this side. Just a little sound I like to do. Okay, let's put in the new pins. There. That in there and snug it down. Once we got the new Schrader valves in place, we can fill up the system with nitrogen and check our new connections to make sure that we have no leaks. Let's go ahead and charge the system through the high side. Make sure we have no leaks. It's looking good to me. Let's go ahead and release the nitro. My vacuum pump hooked up. Let's turn it on. This valve needs to be up when it's on. You can see the smoke coming out, coming down. I got a vacuum gauge on here. What I noticed, you see all that smoke? Once that starts clearing up, we know we got most of that moisture and everything out. So we're gonna let this run and give it its time, and we'll see what happens. We're already in 30 inches of vacuum, mercury vacuum. Let's go ahead and give it some time and get all the moisture out of here. All right, it's looking pretty good. We got about 964 microns. It's on its way down. It's been about half an hour. Almost there. System takes refrigerant 404A. If we look at the tag, it takes 1 pound and 14 ounces. Each pound has 16 ounces, so we need 30 ounces here. I opened up the tank. Let's purge. All right, got the air out of the hoses. Let me zero this out so it's 0, and then while it's off, I'm charged through the high side. So let's get that number up to 30 ounces. All right, we have 30.25 ounces. I always add a tiny bit more. Might add like a little bit like a little quick shot before I take off the gauges, because you lose whatever's in the hoses. But right now with this, we should be able to start this machine and hopefully it works. I use some cork tape to insulate the sensor and the bulb. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on to ice. Red light came on. I hear the fill. Water's coming down. This should be about a minute. And it's gonna go and do its thing. Dropping. Made something. That's some good looking ice. Dropping is dropping. So if defrost goes over 20 minutes, then it goes into alarm, and that's pretty much where we were at last time. Defrost just started at 12:28, 12:29. Average is about 5 minutes or so. So we got those 3 green lights and 1 red. That means we're in defrost. So what happens in defrost, the hot gas bypass opens up and it sends the hot gas through here so we can, you know, heat up the ice and melt it to come off. And this time we didn't exceed no 20 minutes for defrost, and we didn't exceed 60 minutes for ice. We're about 35 minutes for ice, which is about average, and about 6-7 minutes for defrost when the average is 5 minutes. So that's looking pretty good. We got a bunch of ice. Everything's looking good, and we're gonna wrap it up from here. If anyone found this video interesting or helpful, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe as I come out with new videos every week. Catch you all next time.